starting the third quarter, and we just can't have the ball kicked OB. Now I can do a better job of helping him. Maybe it's a ball kicked in the middle. But yeah, we just can't have that. And with Trey, has had a good camp. I think just part about being young, he starts to overthink. He has a little bit of wind that goes right to left. It's in the Windy City in Chicago. He overthinks it. He aims at the right upright, and ball barely moves. So that's just part of the learning process for him. But we're looking forward to them going out there and going against Minnesota here.
What did you see from Stonehouse?
Yeah, probably not up to his standard. It's interesting. He still averages 44 net, but nowhere where he should be, and he's going to be the first one to tell you that. Just one of those days for him that couldn't make those adjustments, and he's going to come back. He asked to punt today, so he wants to continue to work on it, and hopefully we'll have a better game against Minnesota.
Angling the punts, using that sideline as the extra tackler, or is it, is location the biggest issue?
Yeah, I think there he just mishit the ball. He's trying to be too perfect. That's his thing. He's got a high standard for himself. We have a high standard for him. He just tries to be too perfect. We talk about his footwork all the time. That's going to be key. It's going to start out with his footwork, and it was just a little bit off. He was hopping into the ball. Kind of made his drop just a little bit inside. So those are the stuff that we'll work on today and throughout the week.
With the kicks, especially with Wolf, what's the grading scale for those guys, and how much does one kick matter in the scope of things?
Yeah, we take every kick and not necessarily grade every single kick because it's a body of work. Whether it's through the training camp and the preseason. Obviously, the preseason games are going to count just a little bit more. But we'll take everything into consideration, what he's done in practice, what he's done this next preseason game, and kind of go. And I still feel it's neck and neck with those guys because, obviously Caleb kicking the one at the end of the half was good. Trey did a really good job on the one kickoff that he had, got the ball up in the air. And we made the tackle inside the 20-yard line. So we'll continue to work those guys and, make a decision who knows when.
How crucial are these next 2 weeks for Caleb and Trey?
Yeah, it's big. Obviously, they're battling for a spot. Gives them an opportunity to, start in an NFL game. So it's going to be a big 2 weeks, but we're going to handle it day by day. And I know those guys are ready to get out there and compete again.
Some of the biggest focuses on this next week in the kicking game?
Yeah, basically all four core, we're going to continue to see guys, that made some plays for us, and they're going to get more opportunities. The biggest part is guys playing as fast as they possibly can with some technique. Those guys that did really well, they're going to get that opportunity to showcase their skills again this week. So it's going to be a big week for all the core guys, too.
From being able to fight through contact and getting downfield, who maybe impressed you there?
Yeah, I think, when you look at the preseason, you're going to get a lot of what we call six box, where our gunners are going to go get double pressed all the time. And it's great work for us, especially the gunners, because we're going to see who's going to be competitive, who's going to be able to fight, who's going to be able to use the techniques that we're teaching. We thought Anthony Kendall, Matt Jackson, even Racy on his one did a really good job, whether they split them or use the out of bounds as a weapon for us. But, it's going to be tough for those guys because they're all going to get double pressed. But it's a really good teaching aspect that we can go off of and see if they can actually play for us when they get double pressed.
And only one return for Kyle, but what's his point of emphasis as he kind of starts that path again to be a returner, just kind of hit it, and did he do that on Saturday?
Yeah, it all starts with the catch, and he did a great job of squaring up to it and catching the ball and then running and getting vertical. We tell the guys we want to get the first down. He obviously did that, made a couple moves, so we were excited him to be out there and make a play. All right, thank you.
Coach.
Thank you.
What's going on?
How'd you feel like the quarterbacks handled the alternating series situation?
Yeah, I think they did a good job handling it. Both had some really good plays. Both had some good opportunities to be able to learn from some of the performance stuff. But in terms of the rotation, they did a great job handling that.
I know you weren't in your same role last year, but maybe just take a look at some of the strides that the league has made, just in what you're seeing, what you see there.
Yeah, he played faster on Saturday, which was good. That was the big thing that we talked to him about, is we wanted him to make sure that he played to his time speed. So he played fast. His decision making was better. He appeared to play on time, more so than what we've seen in his previous game exposure. So I thought Malik took a good step forward here on Saturday.
As far as Will, what were some of the positives you saw from his game? What are some things that obviously showed he's still a rookie?
Yeah, there's some things. Obviously, now having a live pass rush, knowing when we need to step up. When the journey's over, when we may have to ditch one. But you look at his ability to be able to get the ball out when he was playing on time. You know what I mean? He had some really good throws for us. And again, it's a good learning situation for him to be able to come back in here today, be able to watch it, now get a true understanding as to why we're doing things a certain way. And again, looking forward to see his growth here from game 1 to game 2.
Is that really the only way to improve that kind of feel, is to get those live game reps preseason or
Yeah, I
season?
think, obviously, the more live reps you can get, the better off you're going to be with that. It's a different deal when those guys can actually hit you, in terms of being able to feel the pocket and being able to step up and maneuver within the pocket. And so, yeah, I think the live bullets you get there are invaluable.
I know it was only a series, but did Isaiah Spears give you something to work with there? Did you get some impressions of him and then?
Yeah, he's first of all, he's got to continue to focus on ball security and just do a good job with that. But yeah, you saw his ability to stick his foot in the ground. He showed that he can be a hard tackle out in the open field. And he caught the ball the one time the ball found him. So, very, very pleased with Tajay, and again, looking forward to him to continue to improve here.
How about the offensive line, the first movement in that one series that they got? How did you like what they were able to do?
Yeah, they kept Malik clean. They were able to push some piles. They were able to get some movement in the run game. And again, the more that those guys are going to be able to play and gel together, the better off we're going to be. So I thought they all individually did some good things, and collectively as a unit did what we asked them to do. We wanted them to play physical. We wanted them to kind of set the tone and put our brand of football on tape. We wanted them to keep the quarterback clean, and I think they did all three things.
Where's Ryan right now? And
He's in the locker room. Go ahead. As far as what?
as far as mastery of the offense, control of everything.
I feel great. I feel great with where he's at. Being able to sit in there and just and watch our tape, kind of watch the film of the defense and what we're expecting. What we're expecting if you see A, B, and C in terms of the different coverages. And I think he's doing a really good job of playing on time. And then, again, like as we get going here with the situations, just looking forward to him continuing to grow there. And he's been on the money with his decisions, and I think he's missed a throw or two. But other than that, he's been playing pretty good for us.
How important does this work, I guess, for your frontliners coming up this week with the Vikings as far as imagine these joint practices will be your most extensive work for some of these guys. Where can they benefit most?
Yeah, anytime you get to go against another team, I think that's crucial. It's going to be good for us to be able to go up there and see some different things schematically, and in terms of what we've been seeing from Shane and what we're anticipating seeing up there, and just being able to go against players that have different skill sets. That's a big part of it. As the opponents change each and every week, got to be able to kind of adapt to what we're doing and how we're going to attack them, and how individually we need to put ourselves in the best position possible. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a good challenge. We're looking forward to it.
With the young quarterbacks, what are you looking for them to do? As they continue their competition there behind Ryan?
Yeah, continuing to grow, continuing to protect the football. We got to do a better job with that. Can't turn the ball over. First and foremost. So we got to protect the football. We got to do a better job with our ball security within the pocket, and then just continuing to play on time and play within the system.
But in the joint practice?
Yeah, same deal. Like the decision making in terms of in terms of not jamming balls into tight windows, being able to be accurate when there's people around you. All those different things are going to come up in those.
Wiley, I mean, his first NFL game probably didn't go like he wanted to. How do you kind of deal with that with him?
Yeah, I mean, he's got another chance to come out there and get better today. That's the biggest thing, is that our guys need to understand that, that was a learning opportunity for him. And so there's going to be things that, as we talked to Josh this morning and this afternoon, and as we move forward here, same deal with the quarterbacks. Like, hey, this is why we emphasize these things during the week of practice, and we got to see the things that we do on the practice field translate on Saturdays or Sundays, during the season. The biggest thing is just continuing to get him to grow and get him reps and continue to let him play fast.
What are you looking forward to offensively from the growth from one game to the next in preseason?
I couldn't hear the question. I'm
What
sorry.
are you looking forward to in terms of the offense, in terms of looking to see from the offense from one game to the next?
Yeah, protect the ball. I mean, you can't win any games in the NFL turning the ball over 4 times. So that's paramount. We got to do a better job making sure that we're not exposing the football. Got to do a better job of making sure we're taking advantage of a short field, right? Our defense did a good job creating some turnovers, and we got to do a better job being able to take advantage of that. So those would be the 2 major areas that we want to improve on.
You coach both upstairs and downstairs during your careers, OC, and have you settled where you think you'll be this season, and maybe what's the benefit of being there? So
yeah, I'll be wherever Coach Vrabel wants me to be. Being able to be upstairs, you see everything. Being able to be on the field is you feel everything. So there's some pros and cons to both. But wherever Coach Vrabel wants me to be, that's where I'll be.
Tim, with Chick being like the main guy in the tight end room now, have you seen him grow as a leader? And if so, what does that look like in building and maybe interacting with the other guys in the room? Yeah,
it's been good. Having Chick kind of share his experience in the first year with some of the rookies, some of the lessons that he learned, and being able to kind of pass that knowledge off to some of the younger guys. In terms of his leadership style, like he's just, the smile is contagious. You feel his energy whenever you talk to him, and that's been great to see that walk around the building and being able to communicate with him and just know that when he's here, he loves football, he loves the work, he loves the process. And I think that's the biggest thing, that as far as being a leader, just being able to continually do that day in and day out.
As Nicholas Heath Frere, been handling his situation, and it can be tough in a game situation where he's playing with guys that he really hadn't played with before.
Yeah, you're right. Nick's in a unique situation here. He's doing what he can in order to be able to kind of block out the distractions. And just trying to take advantage of every rep that he's getting here, knowing kind of what's coming down here in a couple of weeks. But he's here every day. He's working. He's putting the work in. And again, just looking for him to continue to take advantage of the reps that he's getting during these practices.
how do you evaluate some of the backup offensive linemen? Maybe who did well, who maybe needs to clean some things up?
Yeah, I think you could probably go down the line and say they all did some good things and they all did some bad things. The biggest thing is that we just need to continue to focus on playing our style of football, being physical. I think the one run Hassan had, it would have been in the second quarter in the low red, right? They had a really good power push. Corey was there. You know what I mean? You saw X kind of come up, and that's the stuff that we want to see consistently. And then we need to continue to improve on protecting the quarterback. Now, a lot of that, however many we had, I think we had 8. I think half of them at least were due to quarterback issues there. We got to get the ball out on time. But just continuing to work the different techniques that we're using, and hopefully we can continue to see the improvements that we see during practice on the game tape.
I know he's played a lot of different spots as you work with him through camp. How do you do a tackle?
Yeah, I mean he's a big joker when he's out there, right? So he's big. He plays hard. He tries to play physical. He doesn't try to play physical. He does play physical. And so when he was out there, he was playing against a good player, and he went out there and held his own. So the good thing about Rupp is that he's smart. He's got different position flexibility, being able to kind of play multiple spots. And so he did everything that we asked him to do on Saturday and played hard.
The receiver or two who's earned himself more opportunities based off of what he did in that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at those young guys, and a couple of them flashed for us. Kieris showed up on that one long catch and run. Trayshawn showed up for us a couple times. Gavin had a big catch for us on that drive in the fourth quarter. I think there's positives that you can take from a lot of those young players there for us. Colton had caught an odd for us on the sideline, one of the 2-minute drills. So all of them, when the ball found them, they all did a good job of making the play.
Can you kind of speak to the value that Corey Levin brings to the line? Hasn't been a starter, but a guy who's been here for a while.
Yeah, he's been here for a while. He's played in some games. He's smart. He knows everyone's job, and he plays the right way. I can't stress how important that is having a
Shane, on the 2 long touchdowns, what coulda, should have been better on those, and how helpful to have those as teaching points at this point of the year rather than in a month?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously not the way we wanted to start those first 2 drives. Just recognition, the first one, just recognition. Guys see it sooner, get guys triggering a little bit sooner, and then obviously the retrace. I think there were some questionable decisions just over the top, underneath, some of that type of stuff. But for the most part, I thought they were running. They were trying to get them down. They were chasing them to the end zone. But, yeah, it can't happen. Second one, really just the back leaked out on us, and Fields was able to extend it enough to find them, So just things we got to clean up. But, I mean, again, I'm glad it happened in preseason, not week 1.
Avery made a play for you. How's he been throughout camp?
He's been good. He's been really good. He's been a guy, I think, all of us on our coaching staff, Chris, Book, Jay Ham, they've been working hard with him. I think he's developed. You see his progression as we've been through camp here day in and day out. He's competing, he's challenging, and he's making some plays on the football. So it's been good for us.
You talked about Monty and Gibbons competing. Monty only got 7 snaps. What was kind of thinking there?
Yeah, I think just those guys working through, rotating some guys, kind of seeing where the game's at, where we're at. So, I mean, each week, preseason-wise, we're going to figure out who plays and who doesn't, how many snaps they're going to get. So we'll kind of see where's that as we go this week.
In the game, it seemed like Guerra showed up around the football a lot, made a lot of open field tackles. How did he look once you broke the film down?
Yeah, he's been good. We transitioned him to play a little bit more outside here this past week just to add a little bit of depth there. He's a scrappy dude, right? He's competitive. You can tell he's got a chip on his shoulder every single day. He's a guy that's improved since he's been here, and we like the versatility piece of him. So hopefully that continues, and he can continue to be around the football and show up in the run game.
How much you find out about your guys this week in joint practices working against some of their skill players?
Yeah, it's going to be great. Just to kind of gauge where we're at, right? Been going against the same guys for 3 weeks now, so I know the guys are excited to go against somebody else. And really for us, just to be able to go out there and execute and see if everything we've been working on translates, right? Beyond the preseason, you go up and there's a lot of ones versus ones. You're getting a lot of reps there. So just kind of get a good gauge of where we're at.
Think of pass rush on Saturday.
Yeah, I thought there were times. I think there's always some room for improvement in terms of our ability to affect the quarterback. Again, didn't have a whole lot of 3rd and long situations show up for us. They were in that mid-range quite a bit, and then on the early one with Fields, they threw a screen, right? So I wouldn't say there was a ton of opportunities there for those guys, but I felt like they were trying. You saw some good moves individually. I think it probably got to be a little bit more consistent, but you saw some flashes from some guys.
How do you like the way that depth and safety is starting to work? I seen that Mike Brown, 44, that was a guy that kind of flashed in this past game.
Yeah, I think coming in, that was kind of a big question mark for us, just our depth there. Obviously working Elijah back, I think that's going pretty well. I think he's getting a good grasp of it, and Mike's done a good job. I think special teams, he's done a really good job there, kind of carving out a role for himself. Hopefully that continues, and he showed up Saturday, so hopefully that continues. I've been pleased with Mike and how he's progressed here, and I think he's a guy that's been a riser throughout camp that we were a little uncertain of going into it.
And what about Shaheem Carter?
Yeah, really good. Like, Shai's always been the guy. I mean, we've had him here, just dependable. I think he tried to play physical on Saturday. He tried to show up in the run game. Got to clean up some tackling stuff with him. Just a little bit undersized guy going in there to tackle at times. It comes into play, but the ability to show up, get out of the post, and show up on plays, he's got to work on wrapping up a little bit.
Chance Campbell made a couple of big plays. How's he kind of progressed through this game?
Yeah,
Sitting out all year.
it was good to see Chance out there flying around. I thought he played fast. I did. There were a couple plays I'm sure he'd want back, but he showed up, doing all the right things in the right spot for the most part. So hopefully he continues to perform that way because, again, I think it's a pretty deep room. It's a competitive room from the first guys to the last guys. Special teams are going to be vital for that room and those position battles, but it's good to see those guys progress and go out there and show the improvement they've made since we've been in training camp.
Who among the young defensive linemen stood out to you?
Yeah, I think TK has done a great job since he's been here. He's, again, with all those young guys, it's just the consistency of it. Like, you see flashes of him in the run game, using his length, playing with his hands. You see the ability to rush. So hopefully we can continue to work on the day-to-day and every play, having that. I thought that whole group battled, right? Like, not having a ton of numbers there going into the game between Jaleel, between Shelvin, between Shaq before he went down. I thought those guys battled for us. So hopefully that continues. I think these preseasons are huge just for the competitive aspect of trying to figure out the depth there as we get to the 53.
Murphy, just what's the adjustment been like for him from smaller school to NFL speed?
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job on Saturday. Like, you saw some good things from him. You saw him flash. I thought he was run to the football. I think just like I don't think the speed of the game was as dramatic as I thought it would be. Like, it is for every rookie, don't get me wrong. But I didn't think that was a big issue for him. I think with him, it's just continue the reps, continue to see things, the strength, right? Continue to work in the weight room to get stronger. But he has some ability.
Shane,
All right, thank you all.